Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading for the period of December the 16th through Saturday, December the 22nd, the last day, well, at least for some. Some will say the 21st. The last day of the sun will be in Sagittarius, or for the zodiac sign Sagittarius. So happy birthday to the last of the Sagittarians. Anybody celebrating this week? Let's get right into it. So what's going on this week? On the Islamic calendar, there's really nothing. Remember last week I talked about how pretty much the whole month was uneventful. That on the United Arab Emirates page that I was reading from, they didn't even have a description for this month. It was, it was pretty plain. And on the Hebrew calendar, we do have something. On the Christian calendar, we do not. So I'm going to go to Hebrew. And what we're celebrating this week on the Hebrew calendar is on the 18th, Tuesday the 18th, is the feast day called the 10th of Tevet. And I often read about the Jewish traditions that I'm going to talk about from www.shabbat.org. But this week I didn't think it was very thorough, the page they did on the 10th of Tevet, the little article they had. So if we're going to go simple, I figured I might as well just take it from wikipedia.org. And that seemed a little bit more, I mean, I haven't read it. I just looked at it, glanced at it quickly. But it looked a little bit more detailed, even in just doing that, than what was on Shabbat.org. So I'm going here. Wikipedia.org, 10th of Tevet. The 10th day of the Hebrew month of Tevet is a fast day in Judaism. It's one of the minor fasts that's observed from before dawn until nightfall. The fasting commemorates the siege of Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylonia, an event that began on that date and ultimately culminated in the destruction of Solomon's temple, which in parentheses they have is the first temple, and the conquest of the kingdom of Judah, which is today's central Israel. The day has no relationship to Hanukkah, but it happens to follow that festival by a week. Whether the 10th of Tevet falls on the 7th, or whether the 10th of Tevet falls 7 or 8 days after Hanukkah depends on whether the preceding Hebrew month of Kislev has 29 or 30 days in the relevant year. A little bit about the history. According to Kings 2, so the book of Kings in the Bible, or the Torah, I guess, whatever you're using. On the 10th day of the 10th month in the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, which was the year 588 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian king, began the siege of Jerusalem. 18 months later, on the 17th of Tammuz, at the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah's reign, or 586 BCE, he broke through the city walls. The siege ended with the destruction of the temple 3 weeks later on the 9th of Av, which is the feast day Tisha B'Av, which we celebrated earlier in the year. And that is the end of the first kingdoms and the exile of the Jewish people to Babylon. The 10th of Tevet is thus considered part of the cycle of fasts connected with these events, which includes Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, or the 17th of Tammuz, and Tisha B'Av, which is the 9th of Av. I'll read a little more of it. According to tradition, as described by the liturgy for the day's Selikat, the fast commemorates also other calamities that occurred throughout Jewish history on the 10th of Tevet and the 2 days preceding it. So they're saying, like, it's like often on this day something large happens to the Jewish people or happened in history. How like I do when I do my dailies, a big part of it, or the reason why I do them and was guided to do them, and when I did them for free, and now that I do them on Patreon thanks to those people that tried to stop me from doing them and tried to stop me, period. The purpose of the dailies in large part was to talk about history and how, like, say, for example, on a given day, it could seem like every 10 years there's an earthquake on that day, and 50,000 people are killed. And so it goes to the numerology. And we can try to figure it out by beginning to notice and then understand, or try to understand the patterns. So that's why I do it. And that's why this holiday was created and is commemorated. So on the 8th day of Tevet, 1 year during the 3rd century BCE, a time of Hellenistic rule in Judea during the Second Temple period of Ptolemy, the king of Egypt, ordered the translation of the Hebrew Bible into Greek, a work which later became known as the Septuagint. 72 sages, so there's that number 72, just like 72 people went with Set to murder Osiris, or Jesus dispatching 72,000 disciples twice, which equaled 144,000. Or, there's tons of 72s throughout the scriptures and history that are notable, or that I've noticed at least. Anyway, 72 sages were placed in solitary confinement in order to translate the Torah into Greek. The expected outcome would be a multitude of different translations that would then be compared and critiqued by Greeks, as there were some sentences in the Bible that could be understood as offensive to pagans if taken wrongly and would need to be changed. This would demonstrate the muddled meanings of the Torah and the divergent opinions of Jewish interpreters. However, all 72 sages independently made identical translations into Greek. The Greeks saw this as a most impressive feat. However, various rabbinical sources see this event as a tragedy, a debasement of the divine nature of the Torah, and a subversion of its spiritual qualities. Like, by translating it, you're watering it down. Every time you do it, you're changing it, basically. I don't disagree. They reasoned that upon the translation from the original Hebrew, the Torah's legal codes, which a lot of those codes are numerical, right? It's gematria. And deeper layers of meaning would be lost. Like I said, it's watered down every time you translate it. Many Jewish laws are formulated in terms of specific Hebrew words employed in the Torah. Without the original Hebrew wording, the authenticity of the legal system would be damaged. The mystical ideas contained in the Torah are also drawn from the original Hebrew. As such, these would not be accessed by individuals studying the Torah in Greek or any other language alone. On the 9th of Tevet, something happened, but we don't know what it is. Shulchan Aruch is in parenthesis, and then it says, the Selachite liturgy for the day states that Ezra the scribe, the great leader who brought some Jews back to the Holy Land from the Babylonian exile and who ushered in the era of the Second Temple, died on this day. And this is verified by the Kolbo, Kolbo, which is a collection of Jewish ritual and civil laws. The meaning of the title is all is in it. The author has never been ascertained, and the work in content resembles other codes as for instance, Orhat Hayim, though in its form is very different. I'm not sure what that meant. But according to the earlier sources, the Geonim, which were the presidents of the two great Babylonian Talmudic academies of Sura and Pumbedita in the Abbasid Caliphate, and were the generally accepted spiritual leaders of the Jewish community worldwide in the early medieval era, in contrast to the Resh Galuda, who wielded secular. So the geonym, which I just explained what they were, as recorded by Bahag, Bahag was a Jewish Babylonian halakist of the first half of the 8th century. Although he lived during the Geonic period, he was never officially appointed as a Gaon and therefore does not bear the title Gaon. All right, so this guy Bahag, cited in Tur Orak Kayam in the, I guess, the year 580. The specific tragedy of 9 Tevet is unknown. Some manuscripts of Bahag, not available to the Tur, add that Ezra and Nehemiah both died on this day, but only after first stating that the rabbis have given no reason for why the day is tragic. Other suggestions are given as to why the 9th of Tevet is notable. So they don't even know why they're celebrating it, is what it sounds like. The 9th of Tevet. It's, I mean, because this, at least one of the sages, Ezra the scribe, he died, but they if they're saying it's tragic, maybe it was just tragic that he was lost, right? That they lost him, even if he wasn't like murdered or something. I don't know. Don't start me to lying, but that's as far as I'm going to read. If you want to continue, of course, it's there. I'm sure it's several other places. The feast day is called the 10th of Tevet. So going to the celestial calendar. On the 21st, the sun enters Capricorn at 5:23 p.m. We all know what that means. It means the sun enters Capricorn. The sun moves from Sagittarius to Capricorn, where it will be stationed for about a month. And the 22nd at 12:48 p.m. will be the full moon, 0 degrees Cancer, just like the full moon the month prior. The Gemini full moon was 0 degrees. This one is 0 degrees Cancer. This is very interesting. And the location is 49, which is 1304, 1111. So that's interesting too. And that's all on the celestial calendar this week. So what do I think about the full moon? Well, I think it is going to be obviously about letting go and right, of things that we've been, practices and things we've been holding on to far too long. Relationships, all of that. And therefore new beginnings, because we're letting those doors close and new ones will open for us. But maybe more specifically, because of what Cancer is about, I think a lot of nurturing, probably more so of oneself. Cancers can be funny like that. You know, like they're these, supposed to be these emotional and loving people, but they pay a lot of attention to self too. And that may be that may be their proximity to Leo. I don't know. But Leos can be very self-centered. And I say that as lovingly as I can, as the daughter of a Leo and a Leo rising myself, and the niece of a Leo, because my father is a twin, you know, so it is what it is. Leos can be very self-centered. And so I see that often in Cancers too, but not the same way. So I think it's more of a, like a self-love. You know, they got that emotional and loving and, you know, the watery thing going on. I think it may be time for some resets in different areas. So it could be like relationship reset button, health, you know, reset button, like this time to, again, as far as nurturing. It could be, we've been moved to doing this in a while, actually, by other transits, like that Taurus and Uranus, which is still going on. Even if, you know, there's some movement there, overall, Taurus will be, Uranus will be in Taurus for 8 years, so it's that same sort of energy that I'm feeling that's going to be moving us to continue to like watch what we eat, you know, toward moving toward cleaner you know, diets, eating styles. And you know, I'm sure many of you know, I'm plant-based, but I'm not pushing that. I have no agenda. In fact, I am super, super, I guess as a Gemini, a Queen of Swords, right? We're very diplomatic, and try to see all sides, especially since I'm a true Gemini. I like that card, True Gem. I have Gemini, a few planets in Gemini, including both of our rulers, Mercury and Venus. So I'm like Gemini upon Gemini upon Gemini, and then I have a lot of Aquarius too. I'm an Aquarius moon, you know, so I'm a real air sign, a real Queen of Swords, and so I really, it is in my nature to try to look at all sides and to be honest about it all and fair about it all, even if, you know, painting over the truth, glossing over the truth, or, you know, telling little white lies, or, you know, just omitting things, lies by omission, could support my agenda. I actually always say, like, propaganda that supports one's ideology is still propaganda. You know, it doesn't become truth or you know, better because it fits your agenda. So I'm certainly not pushing that. There are things that are absolutely wonderful about plant-based eating and veganism, and there's some stuff that's not very good, you know, and it could be, you know, maybe better or worse for some than others. But I will say hashtag protein matters. So if you're trying to avoid meat and stuff, you know, good, best of luck to you. But be mindful of the fact that protein matters and that carbohydrates turn into sugar. And that an abundance of sugar, even if you are losing weight and you feel that that means that you're fine and you look good, sugar kills one's pancreas. Sugar affects one's insulin and glucose levels and can be very dangerous. And that's all I'll say about that. So cleaner and cleaner for me means as organic, meaning as processed as little as possible, if at all. And, you know, as whole as possible. And by whole, if you can't get something that just like a fruit or vegetable, or, you know, something that just is what it is, a grain, or even meat, if you, you know, getting something that is combined with other things, it shouldn't be more, in my opinion, than 5 pronounceable ingredients. So it should be like, this processed item, right, contains water and cocoa and nuts and oil, and like that's it. So you know exactly what everything is. And I think that, you know, that this Cancer moon is going to move a lot of us to do, you know, more things like that, and to maybe watch our money and try to figure out how we can save some for ourselves, which we've also been shown over and over again. Every now and then I do like an abundance spread or an abundance pick a card, and there's always that card that comes up that's like, I forgot how it's worded, but it talks about saving money for yourself, even if you just set aside like a small percentage of whatever your earnings are. It's like planning for your future, you know. We're going to continue with the nesting that we've been doing. I don't know about the men or the masculine. I don't know if they've been doing it, but I know the feminine, we've been doing this nesting thing for about a month, and I see that continuing too. And like, you know, like spring cleaning type of things, and at least an area of your home or workspace so you just feel lighter. You know, like you're ready to start something new in that area. maybe getting pretty and all those kinds of things, or getting back into hobbies. I've done that, something that I've done too, sort of, without consciously thinking about it. I told you I had bought yarn, and then my daughters and I, we started knitting again, which is something I hadn't done in years. And as far as our relationships too, I think that, we'll nurture them, the ones that we currently have, and then those of us that are single, we'll be approaching new relationships, maybe a little bit more lovingly and emotionally, rather than like in a sterile kind of way. Even us air signs. And, when we're those of us who are reuniting, and we've been together before and we're getting back together, I think there'll be particular focus on trying to just make sure like we pay attention to detail. We nurture ourselves, one another, and the union itself. So on that note, let's do this. Let's do the dice. Beginning with email. Spend money. And massage. Spirit says yes. Massage, which is a way to nurture oneself, at least in my opinion, as can be party. This could be nurturing yourself too. Maybe you need to be more social. Maybe you've been like in the house, you haven't been, and I'm not knocking that because I'm like that too, but I'm going to be social this week. The 22nd, I'm going to a party. So, all right. With the cards, I am beginning today with the Nine of Earth, which can be about that nurturing, I think. This is when you're in a healthy enough place financially, typically, or you feel secure enough that you don't mind maybe just spending some time with yourself. You're not, in that moment, you're not worrying about finances or things where you're going to get your next meal, and you don't mind, taking some time to yourself to do your most favorite things and to spend time with you, getting to better know you and like you and love you. So, yeah, to me, that sounds like nurturing, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and maybe even successful self-employment. You could be working on a project for yourself or a new company, or building an existing company that you have. And the Nine of Summer is the other deck, the other card we're going to begin with. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. And so nines are also like full moons, about endings yet beginnings, for one thing. So I think it's interesting that we're starting with two nines. But also, this Nine of Summer, I think, is about nurturing too, even though we didn't say that here. It's like surrendering to your dreams and your goals, and again, just having faith that everything is going to come to pass. And so this is what you've wanted all the time. You're allowing it to take over now. All right, so back to the Nine of Earth, opening to the Six of Fire, which is victory. Good news is on its way, public recognition or awards. The Dreamer just jumped out, but the Seven of Swords was behind it, so that's interesting. Because again, this card is about your dreams coming true. And the Dreamer jumped out of this deck. The Dreamer is the Fool in the traditional tarot, but he's one that's going to take a leap of faith on these dreams, which may involve a soulmate union or reunion that you have manifested back into your life. And the Seven of Swords is the energy of joy stealing. So to see that pop up behind it, just be mindful that that's a potential negative energy that's out there. And just now I'm sure you saw this one jump away to reveal the 5 of water. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in the situation and crying over spilled milk. So something maybe wanting to get in the way of that victory, prevent you from having it. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach is what the 2 of earth is about. It's about the need for balance, the need to find time to be social, like we just talked about, for both work and play. You know, we all need a little bit of each in our lives. It can be about a decision you have to make. Typically, if you do have a decision, it's something connected to the earthly, where to work, how many hours to work, you know, to buy a new home or not, to move in together or not, those sort of decisions. Two of earth and the ace of earth definitely have to do again with, you know, whether or not to work your own company or to work for someone else or do both, maybe moonlight on your own job, your own company that you're trying to build while you're still being paid. You know, you want to keep a consistent regular income from somebody else, whatever. Things are going good. This could be a relationship also. It's something positive, a divine blessing from the universe. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, and important documents or contracts. Again, opposite the 2 of earth, you could have a decision to make in relation to, you know, this business or work or finances. And the Knight of Air would indicate, yes, there is a decision that has to be made. It's behind it. This 2 of earth. And when the Knight of Air shows up, usually the person does have a decision to make or is awaiting some sort of decision. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Two of earth and the ace of air. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation and maybe a challenging beginning. All right, so when the ace of air shows up, it too is kind of like one of those ending and beginning cards because it's a new beginning, but it's showing up in the form of air because it was like difficult getting there. And there's a warning that there could be a few more bumps in the road to come. But at the same time, very positive, just like the 6 of Wands was about victory, the ace of air is also about victory, even when we've had those difficult times, because it's like triumph in the face of adversity. And here's more indication that we're going to continue moving forward from there. We're not going back, you know, to the difficult times. We're not revisiting those. Maybe visiting something though, or someone. Maybe taking a trip or vacation when the 6 of air shows up. It's a card of movement. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. Yes, it's very true. If not, you have metaphoric movement. You know, your figurative movement. You're still moving forward. It's like a very lucrative week for us all. The overall energy is the 10 of earth, a very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. There could be lump sums of money this week. There could be, you know, maybe some sort of winnings or something, whether it's financial or, since we saw 2 cards of victory, you know, in other areas of your life, you are winning, you're succeeding, maybe in some sort of competitive situation. Who's getting the bonus, who's getting the raise, who's getting the job, who's getting the promotion. You know, it's you. Different ways to win. Maybe even in relationships, you know, dating situation. Who gets the girl? Who gets the guy? After it's all said and done, you know, you're winning. Being chosen. 2 cards wanted to come out just now, so we'll keep that in mind. More earth. Crowning the masculine, it's the king of earth, generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. Well, we've seen the ace. The overall energy is the 10, and now the masculine is crowned by the king. I say this is a good week so far. This is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus in your life. Possibly it could be your own energy, masculine. More importantly, yes, it is the energy of abundance and the Midas touch. You could be receiving a call saying, hey, I had you in mind for this job. I thought you might be interested. You never even applied for a job, but you're like, shit, yeah, I'm interested. It's like that sort of thing that's good. Or, it's Christmas time, it's Hanukkah time. It's the season of giving, whatever, even if you don't celebrate one of those religious holidays and you want to give something. And you're like, I wonder if I could get this, on credit so I don't have to lay all my money out. I'll go ahead and apply. And maybe you're not even expecting it to really go through, but it does. It's that sort of thing. Masculine, surrounded by the 3 of fire. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. So again, abundance surrounding the masculine, possibly something having to do with a party of 3 also, maybe even a love triangle. Let's see what else we get. Masculine subconscious, it's another king. So we've got 2 characters here already. It's the king of water, trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work, which as far as I'm concerned, charity work is love because it's giving and or receiving without agenda. That's love, right? I'm just giving because I'm giving. I'm accepting this from you because I appreciate it, and that's it. Nothing else. That's love. King of water is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Maybe for the Cancer full moon. The opposite of Cancer, the other axis, is Capricorn. So that's kind of like what's being, displayed here. Crowning the feminine. The page of water, intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Also, their heightened psychic abilities. We have the page of water mirroring the king of water. It's very nice. The page, like the king, is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Someone likened to those traits or attributes. And is someone making some sort of like offer of love or being the recipient, perhaps, of an offer of love. By offer of love, I mean like the email we saw in the dice, or a phone call, a text, some sort of communication, news that's going to put a smile on your face. It could be between friends. Doesn't have to be romantic. Like I just sent my best friend in Boston a birthday card. She may open it and be the recipient of an emotional message or an offer of love. Right? I thought about her and wishing her happy birthday, put a smile on her face. So it doesn't have to be romantic, and it doesn't have to be necessarily, from between a man and a woman. Surrounding the feminine. Wow. The Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. So it could be a new job. It could be a new relationship. Could be the wand. Could be sex, even though that didn't turn up in the dice. But it could be, somebody could be getting the wand. That could be the offer of love. Right? I would like to give you something. And feminine subconscious. Boom. Yeah, it really could be. Really could be that. The 2 of fire, you've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. So of course, again, this doesn't have to be romantic. This can be some sort of business relationship. But it's quite possibly romantic. Here, there could be something going on with a, a male couple, a homosexual couple too. And here there could be something, one could be like younger than the other in the coupling. Or one could be like really youthful, maybe specifically a Pisces or one of the other mutable signs. So they don't look their age, they don't act their age, like that sort of thing. Crowning. The 3 of water, a celebration, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement means to have more fun. We saw this. You got to spend time with friends and or family. That can be what this 10 of earth is about too, right? Getting together with other people, you know. At the root, right next to the 2 of fire, it's the 2 of water. Okay, this is definitely romantic for some. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. It still doesn't have to be. It could be close friends, a close platonic relationship. It can be a parent and child, business partners. But there's definitely room for love here too, with the both 2s. I mean, 2s are about partnership, relationships. At the heart of the matter, the 4 of air. Interesting. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Well, the 3 of water can be about reunions, whether it is romantic or close friends, but definitely it can often be about romantic ones. Getting back together here. It's crossing the new start. We could be celebrating, again, new relationship, new job, other new beginnings, something or someone about which we're extremely passionate. Same thing for the masculine here. Even here, we could be learning of a reason to expect big things to be coming in the future. Like we just feel, we feel that our things that we've manifested are coming into form. They're taking shape. You know, we know that last wand, right, here's the 4th wand. We know that it's on its way and that we're going to have 4 wands soon. This card did want to come out though. 2 cards wanted to come out here. So I do want to, I think, see what it was, maybe in clarification of the 4 of air. It's the 3 of air. Interesting. Really interesting. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others, but the 3 comes before the 4. When we're deciding, we could be trying to decide what to do about our feelings of loss or hurt and whether or not to continue to hold them against somebody. But I think if that's the case, then here we see forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. And here next to it, we see this new beginning, this fresh start. And here we see the offer of love. So I don't think anybody is going to choose to hold on to this resentment or the inability to forgive. But let's look at this one too. I'm being really greedy today. It's the moon. So could have been what upset us. Could have been some sort of lies by omission, which I mentioned before in a different capacity. You know, just things that we didn't know, that we have, maybe just not knowing hurt us too. Just being shut out. Sometimes when somebody doesn't share with us, we feel that they don't think they can trust us. Like 2s are about trust and faith. They don't think they can trust us with the information. Important psychic insights. Events behind the scenes. Release fears that hold you back. Could be attached to fear too. And so you're just trying to decide what to do about like the new opportunity and stuff. The moon represents the sign of Pisces. King of water. Or could be any of the water signs, but most directly Pisces. Although the moon in the sky rules the sign of Cancer. And it's about secrets. I'm going to further clarify all of the cards, not just the ones in the center, with the Animal Tarot, beginning again with the 9 of Summer, opening to the 3 of Autumn, which is about abundance that is earned. So whereas all 3s basically are about abundance, specifically the 3 of Earth is specifically, at least for me, about abundance that you've already done the work for it. You know, like, so no, nobody's doing you a favor by giving you the abundance. And opening to the Lovers, which represents the sign of Gemini. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. So that can be something too. Again, this could be connected to a romantic relationship, and you're just worried because you've been hurt before. So do I take the new chance? Do I try again? Right? Do I give him another chance? Do we try to make this thing work? And just like I said about the Cancer Moon that I was feeling before we started with the cards, I do think it's going to be about doing things in a different way, a more nurturing and loving way than we did before. Opposite the Nine of Summer, which is dreams coming true and wishes being granted, right? Prayers being answered. The Lovers, or a partnership, a relationship, a love is coming to your life in answer to your prayers. Nine of Summer and the Two of Autumn. And we saw this already. This is that same Two of Earth. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and your personal life, and to bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. Nine of Summer. This Seven of Summer. These are all those options I was talking about. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so, but stop overthinking, right? Don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart. Seven of Summer. And the Princess of Autumn. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or a scholarship, is coming your way. Seize the chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career or relationship, I would dare say. The Princess of Autumn is cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. Also a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. It's another Three of Swords. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. And that's what the Four is about too. The Four is about time to heal. This even says time to rest or take a vacation. It's about your healing, your recovery, like being restored, rejuvenated, restarted, rebooted. The overall energy is another Six of Winter. The challenging times are coming to an end, and you can now breathe a sigh of relief. Let go of the past. So this is definitely the past. This is definitely the past. It's past hurt that you're considering in your decision. This is overthinking. This needs to be released with the Moon, and then you can make a better decision. And the Moon guides us to let go of any fears that are holding us back. So that's another thing to say, to toss this. And keep in mind that we've seen two Sixes of Swords saying things are going to get better. This is like being afraid to take the new job because it's better, it pays better than the one you're at currently, and you'll be more appreciated and all that, but you're comfortable where you are. It's that sort of thing. Or you're afraid to take back, your ex ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend. You've been praying for them to return, but now that they're really returning and are interested in you too, you're like, all these things are coming to the surface of why you broke up in the first place. And you're letting them creep back in. But you already decided before that you wanted them back, right? That's why you prayed for it. So it's about going again going within, like we started talking about in the beginning, and deciding, nurturing yourself, giving yourself what you want, what you need to be happy. And if that's this person or this job or some other thing, then you're going to have to release the stuff that's making you unhappy, the negative emotions and cords of attachment, and move forward with the choice that is, whatever it is that's in your heart, wherever your passion lies. Crown of the masculine, atop the king of earth, is the 9 of winter. Your worries and fears aren't real. Yep, it's overthinking. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that by which you're afraid. And it's crossing the fear. It's crossing the moon and the 3 of swords. Stop worrying. Let go of the fear. And everything will be okay. So this could be with regard to money. This could be an actual king of earth who's the one that's paranoid. Atop the 3 of fire. The 2 of winter. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. This is all the stuff I just said. I said, like, do what makes you happy. Yeah. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your. Atop the king of water is the princess of winter. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. Atop the page of water, it's another 4 of winter. So now we have it crossing itself. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution. They're going to beat us in the head with this message this week. Meditation and prayer is what's going to bring you the answers that you seek. Atop the ace of fire is the prince of fire, basically the knight of fire of spring. Passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless is he. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance. You see the pattern, the theme this week? Atop the 2 of fire is the queen of summer. Compassionate, loving, giving, and psychic. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened psychic abilities and intuition that you can trust completely. Be mindful that you don't ignore your own needs. I talked about nurturing yourself. I knew that Cancer was going to be about that. Yeah, don't forget to do yourself while caring about others also. Atop the 3 of water, it's another 6 of summer. So we're just having like repeating cards. They're moving placement, but they're the same cards over and over, right? We got 1 6 of summer. Is it here? I think it's here. The loving care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. Atop the 2 of water, it's the 9 of summer. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. And lastly, atop the 4, the other 4 of winter, and the 3 that joined it, and in the moon, is the king of autumn. So we got the king of autumn here, we got the king of autumn here. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded is the king of autumn. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible. And money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. If that's what you're afraid of, there is no need. Further to this, looking at all three of these, I think that the masculine could be, I don't want to say under investigation. What's it called when you apply for a job and they have to like test you and whatever that's called? That's what I'm talking about. So not investigation, but like, you know, when you gotta, sometimes you have to take a drug test or, you know, fingerprints or different things like that. And I think that he may be concerned about that. Like, am I going to get it? There's worry there. You guys can tell me what it is. I don't know why I keep forgetting what, like, common phrases and words. Oh, goodness. Yeah, but that's one thing I'm feeling. He's being, like, checked for a job or something. This is still feeling very sexual to me, but it doesn't have to be that, of course. But that's definitely one of the things that this can be. The Ace of Fire and the Knight of Fire, sex. Especially sitting here on top of the Two of Fire, which is a couple, a romantic couple, when clarified with the Queen of Summer, if you ask me. And here I think we definitely have a decision whether or not to accept an offer of love, including perhaps the wand. Maybe from an ex. We have a 3 of water with the 6 of water. This is like another 9 of water. 9 of water at the top, 9 of water at the bottom. But look at the 9 of water at the bottom is on top of. It's the 2 of water. So it's like you prayed again for this relationship to return to you. And here it is. Now what are you going to do with it? There's a song like that, right? Now that we found love, what are we going to do with it? And that's what I think is also the question here. Also, if it's an earth sign, maybe most particularly a Capricorn, and there may be most particularly a Gemini with all this air, and here too, worried about how the earth sign feels. And the earth sign, you know, they're very, they're just kind of flat. It's that way of practicality about them. Like, people say, well, that we don't show emotion, but they don't show it like in a different way. It's like, Merry Christmas, honey, I bought you an iron. You know, like something that makes sense that's not sexy. So I feel like you're trying to get something out of him. And it may not come. And that could be for some what the 3 of Swords is about. Like you're not hearing what it is you want to hear. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't feel the same. It's just the way that it's being expressed. If you're patient, you may get a little bit more. You may. Or if you maybe spark the communication and get some real legitimate conversation going, you may be able to encourage more vulnerability, a deepening of emotional and expression. Again, for the work and finances on either side, feminine, if this is, you know, like in our case, it could be involving a passion, a partnership, whatever it is. This is something, you know, it's like a job you could fall in love with, an opportunity of your dreams, pursuing your passions, you know, whether it's a job or it's a person, or you get to, I don't know, go to school or something. Like, it's like whatever it is Because, you know, with it being a reading for so many people, I try to give as many different possibilities as to what it can be. But whatever it is something, again, that, you know, that you or someone about which you would be extremely passionate, and something that you could fall in love with. But you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to step out of this place of practicality and take a walk on the wild side, maybe like a Gemini, you know, hashtag YOLO. Or what does this Prince of Spring say? You got to decide quickly. You got to move quickly in order to take this opportunity. You can't be, you know, night of earthing it. And with that, you know, slow gallop, you got to get out there. Moving quickly is important. Opportunity arises that need your immediate attention. So there's no time to sit down and map out a whole plan and then, you know, walk at a snail's pace. You're going to have to jump on it or miss it, basically. Maybe somebody, again, this person, you know, Tupac said, I got one night in town, break out or be clown. You know, it's like, what are you going to do? I'm here for one day, maybe. Further advice from the angel therapy cards, beginning with, have you asked your angels for help with this? Your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. And God box. Write any worries, concerns, looks like the masculine's got a whole bunch they can put into a God box. Any worries, concerns, or desires, that too, onto a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. And twin flame. Boom. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. I sure thought so. With all this like confused energy, but all these twos, all this partnership, and then the two of fire, which is the divine union or twin flame card of the tarot, sitting here next to the Two of Cups. Underneath the Queen of Cups. Yeah. And it makes sense that that's why, you know, some of us are so afraid, because it's so intense. Listen to your intuitive feelings, though. Your body is receiving accurate messages for the divine. So again, it's like listen to your heart. Listen to your intuition. Follow your passions. Follow your inner guidance, not what other people are wanting you to do. Ask your guides for advice. You are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. And very appropriately, the overall energy is release, as in let go of, as in what the full moons guide us to do anyway. And like a Scorpio kind of energy too, which could be reflected by the Queen of Cups. The queens tend to represent the fixed sign of you know, any given element. And Scorpio would be the fixed sign of water. Work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. Just let it go. And that would definitely be this old fear and old pain, resentment, regret, inability to forgive, all of this, whatever this represents, it doesn't serve you. And it's blocking you from this, which is a whole heap of abundance. Or again, this could be your energy coming through very earth sign-like if you are not one, and very like from a grounded and practical and maybe even boring, right? Dare I say boring kind of place. And you really need to, get out of the box. Do something a little bit out of the box this time. All right, the Angels' advice to the masculine from the therapy cards: past life issue. This situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you to remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. Right, exactly. Rather than like wallow in them and continue to be paranoid about them or repeat them. Ask your angels to help you to let them go. And since it's a past life issue, again, you may want to specifically call on Archangel Jeremiah. I think I mentioned this before. He is the Archangel of past lives. Metatron is the Archangel of light work and light workers, period. Michael is the leader of the angels, period. And the only angel referred to as not only an archangel, but the archangel in the scriptures. So, of course, he can help you. I could go on and on about, which ones apply. But those, I'd say, are good starting points, if anything. If nothing else, rather. For the feminine, clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. Somebody may be getting a visit, too. Actually, there may be a King of Autumn doing something out of a box. Maybe having to do with an earth sign, perhaps particularly a Gemini, as it relates to love. So one of them may be visiting you, or you may be visiting them sort of randomly. You're at least considering it. Maybe an ex, somebody from your past. I had my ex show up in New York unexpectedly once. We weren't together, and when he came, it wasn't necessarily for that. But it was a reunion with somebody from my childhood and somebody from my past that I had to respond to quickly. I just got off a plane. Meet me at my hotel, or meet me at this restaurant, is actually what it ended up being. I had to decide quickly. Am I going to see this King of Autumn? He's a Virgo. Or am I not? I just got a similar sort of vision, feeling, message about somebody else. That somebody is considering visiting. That's the author of love. Considering visiting you, or you are considering visiting them. And there's like fear associated with it. Maybe what if she doesn't open the door? I broke her heart before. What if she doesn't want to see me? What is she going to do when she hears about what's been going on in my life that she doesn't know about? Then what? So there's a decision, because you want to make long-term plans with this one. But you're afraid. So there's a delay. Or there's been a delay, but you can change that. It's in your hands, masculine. From the angels of the tarot, it is the Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. What I just say, step out of the box. That's what originality and ingenuity is about. Not doing like the same old practical, expected, and again, potentially boring thing. The Page of Fire is a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and is news of an opportunity. To the feminine, Major Arcana card 12, Awakening, or the Hanged Man. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. When the Hangman shows up for me, where I've seen, in particular, where I've seen the Lovers, the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands, the Six of Cups twice over. Talks to me about like a genuine soulmate, divine twin flame relationship. But it's one that's going to require still a little bit more patience. Like something's still not ready. Something's still not aligned. Something or someone is still not ready or aligned, but it is the real deal. So you should maintain your faith about that. The Hangman represents the sign of Pisces. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So it's important to be honest about your feelings, the same way I was saying about the masculine. Feminine may have some of that to deal with too. Because one day the clock's going to start ticking again. And you're going to have to make a decision. What are you going to do? From the animals to the masculine. Ugh. The Five of Autumn. Womp womp. Focusing upon the negative. Yep. This. That moon there. The Three of Swords there. Worrying about money. Possibly. The King of Autumn here. On top of all that. King of Autumn here. Underneath the Nine of Winter. So it could be money also. If it's not about an earth sign. Or your career, or I'm going to say or a relationship too, or, you know, love, can block your progress. Worrying about anything, period, can block your progress, block your blessings. Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's not the best time for you to start a business or to become self-employed or maybe a new job or a relationship. You know, like to go on an interview, you're going to bomb or, you know, or a relationship. You got to shift your energy first. And lastly, for the feminine, the Queen of Spring. Talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. The Queen of Spring, like the Prince here, is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, ready to take on the world. She's also the divine feminine of the tarot. She pursues her passion. She's an extremely confident and passionate person. So whether we're a direct fire sign rather, or not feminine, we have these attributes this week. And I think if we all can just remember our overall energy of the Six of Winter, which means that things are getting better, we have some faith that we're moving toward better days and away from anything that's funky, we should do a lot better. We're moving toward abundance that we have earned. This was right behind the Six, also upright. The Three of Autumn, abundance that we have earned. And all we have to do is find time for both that work and play so that we can remain in alignment and balance and in a healthy place and stop sinking toward the negative and being so pessimistic. Instead, we can be more optimistic. We lift up our spirits, we lift up our energy, and then boom, we are #winning with the Six of Spring. This is all about victory, recognition, maybe for this abundance that we have earned. People are seeing us get awards at work or bonuses, promotions, new, you know, positions. But first, again, we have to release all the negativity. Any negative cords of attachment must be cut. If you don't know how to cut them, get somebody who can. And also releasing negative emotions, resentment, regret, the inability to forgive, pride, ego, you know, jealousy, envy, all of those things is what we have to let go of. Well, you don't want to put that in the God box. Well, you know what? Maybe you do. Maybe you want to give all that to God. God, I don't know what the hell to do with this, but I need you to take it from me. And you want to put it in a box. I like to take it a step further and set everything on fire, but you don't have to do what I do. I'll be back with love, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. If you did like the video, you learned something from it, you know, got some clarity, please actually like the video. If you're not yet a subscriber and you want to be, please click on the subscribe button, and then further to that, click on the notification button so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you to my subscribers and sponsors, both here on YouTube and on Patreon. And if you would like a reading from me, energy healing from me, those cords to be cut, I can be reached on any of my social media, or on my website, queenofswordsthelightworker.com, or email queenofswords.thelightworker@gmail.com. I got a special going for yearly forecasts, a card for each month of the year. Somebody asked me about a special for healing. I haven't done one yet. I haven't been moved to, but maybe I will, you know, but I try to keep my prices fair, and really they're at their original price that God told me to make them, 111, or increments of 111. So we're trying, but maybe I'll do a sale on energy healing too. And I guess I can do any reading for any, you know, reading that one would like, not just the yearly forecast, but also the financial and career readings, anything, any kind of reading that I would offer otherwise, or that somebody may conceive to ask me about otherwise. Why couldn't I do that in 15 minutes? So we'll go ahead and apply that to any reading, past life, soul purpose. Maybe you want to look at those things over the course of a year too. We could do that also. Last thing, I forgot about this overall energy of the 10 of Earth, and I just was made to look at it, and I'm like, I finished the reading. I'm talking about other stuff now, but some people are going to have to go to memorials still, and it could be for somebody that passed already, and that may be why, again, there's a 3 and the 4 here. So it's a past event, like we lost the person already, and we're recovering from that. Maybe some of us still haven't really slept because it was our parent, or you know, like childhood friend, sibling, somebody with whom we grew up, quite possibly an earth sign that we lost, quite possibly an air sign that's dealing with it, air sign, female, feminine, earth sign, male, masculine, that passed. Some of us are getting together with family. That's the 10 of Earth. Memorials that are going to be occurring. Some of us, there might be some sort of difficulty ahead, or, you know, not necessarily difficult. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but in the inheritance, in that coming in, there may be like a bumpy road ahead in that regard. And that could be what some of this is too. I actually just left a memorial myself, a wake. I had returned from a wake like right before I did this reading. My good friend, Sabrina, passed of cancer, but she was like holistic and stuff like me. So she had avoided treatment and had avoided telling anybody. Like she and I had been texting. I hadn't seen her, but she and I had been texting for months, and I didn't know that she was sick. Finally, my dad had seen her husband, and he told me. And when he told me, he's like, you know, he said, I'm like, Sabrina, not Sabrina. I just spoke to Sabrina. She's not sick, you know. I had no idea, but it was unfortunately true. Last time I spoke to her was Thanksgiving, and I had just thought about her the other day, that I would hit her up soon since it was the holidays yet again. And I posted about her and a book on menstruation called Her Blood is Gold. that she put me on 2 years ago. Again, like holistic stuff. Oh, so yeah, I'm not the only one that who's lost somebody that was, you know, dear to me, close to me. Some others of us have. Some of us still may actually. I hadn't thought about the solstice either. That's this week. I didn't talk about it in the general, which is this reading, but that's this week. And sometimes these things can come with that as well. All right, I'll be back with love in a different mood, a better one. Namaste, guys.
It's so